Want to make chickenless sandwiches for this weekend? Stay in this video. I'm sharing with you 3 different recipe sandwiches and bun recipe included. Hi, I'm Ingrid. Welcome and thank you for coming back to my vegan lifestyle and cooking channel, The Heirloom for Cuisine. The message for today is to keep reusable bags ready available for you anytime in your car, close to the exit door, so they're easy to grab when you are going out for shopping. In the link above, you can find a very easy, delicious dinner and a short tutorial of how to make your own reusable bags. Today I'll be sharing with you 3 different ways to make chickenless patties for sandwiches, and stay until the end of this video because I'm sharing with you how to make amazing crusty buns. Follow me on Instagram for more ideas of how I can contribute on taking care of the environment. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to be the first one in receiving these recipes and more environmentally friendly tips. And now let's jump to the video. For this recipe, the main ingredient is jackfruit. We're going to prepare a mix or sauce to flavor this canned jackfruit. Mix by hand or with a blender 1 cup of plant-based milk. I'm using soy milk, half teaspoon of activated agar-agar in half cup of water. Let the agar simmer until it looks well dissolved. Add 1 teaspoon of ground garlic and 1 teaspoon of seasoning of your choice. I use this mixture that I bought in Trader Joe's, but you can replace with nutritional yeast and turmeric, 1 teaspoon of each. And add 1 tablespoon of vegetable protein. Here I use pea protein. In the description of this video I leave you the link if you want to buy it. I like it because it does not change the flavor on your recipes and it is organic. And finally add 2 tablespoons of tapioca or cassava flour along with salt to taste. Mix well. As I mentioned, this first patty recipe is made of canned jackfruit. First I wash it well and then mash them a little so patties are easier to make. Drain off any water that it releases after mashing. Pour the sauce over the jackfruit and mix well until everything is well coated with the sauce. To shape the jackfruit patties, I use this tray where commercial vegan burgers came in, and which I have saved to give this plastic a second life and reduce solid waste. You can also shape with your hands and wrap each jackfruit patty individually. Then put them in the fridge at least for 2 hours before frying, or if you can leave them overnight, the better. To give these patties a crisp texture, mix 1 tablespoon of white sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of black sesame seeds, half teaspoon of ground garlic, a pinch of salt, and 1 tablespoon of white or yellow corn flour. At the same time, put a pan with a tablespoon of olive oil or coconut oil to preheat. Mix these dry ingredients very well and start with this small amount as I indicate so you don't waste ingredients. Every time you coat a patty, you will find out if you need more mix. With this portion, you can coat 3 patties. With the same mold that I used to shape the patties, I help myself to coat them with the mixture, or right there in the bowl where you prepare this dry mixture, put a patty and let it take what is necessary. Sprinkle this mixture until completely covered. Let it absorb moisture for about 30 seconds and then transfer to the pan to fry. Brown both sides, and then when the patty is ready, remove the excess of oil with a paper towel. Then place it in the oven or the toaster oven or air fryer for 10 minutes. Optional, last minute in the oven, put a slice of vegan cheese to melt a little. For this sandwich, I start by cutting cabbage into stripes and then running through hot water. Let it soak for 5 minutes, then rinse with cold water and drain. In a large bowl, mix the cold drained cabbage, 2 tablespoons of thinly cut iceberg lettuce, 1 tablespoon of minced coriander, 2 tablespoons of diced green apple, and 1 tablespoon of vegan mayo. Put the salad on the base of the bread, then put a slice of tomato and finish with the hot patty. Remember, at the end of this video, I leave you the recipe and instructions to make your own buns. These buns are crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. Enjoy! We're going to make the next patty with tofu. Take 1 pound block of tofu and wipe the excess of moisture with a towel, or you can press it for an hour before using it. Cut tofu in thin slices. Don't worry, they shouldn't be uniform, or it doesn't matter if they break. Remove any extra moisture you see and set aside. To flavor your tofu, mix 1 cup of plant-based milk, I'm using soy milk, half tablespoon of activated agar-agar. Let the agar-agar cook until it looks well dissolved. Add 1 teaspoon of ground garlic, 1 tablespoon of miso paste, 2 tablespoons of vital gluten, 2 tablespoons of potato starch, and a pinch of salt. In a large container or on a tray, put some sauce on the bottom, then put 3 slices of tofu. On top of these slices of tofu, pour more sauce and then more tofu, so it looks like a tofu lasagna. I just had an idea for another video, gluten-free lasagna with tofu. Make sure you put the tofu slices lined up because we're going to take them individually. After having the layers ready, separate the pieces. If the portion seems too large for you, you can divide each block of tofu in half and wrap them individually. Keep the tofu portions in the fridge for at least 2 hours or overnight before cooking. After this time, put a pan to preheat with a tablespoon of olive oil or coconut oil. Mix 2 tablespoons of wheat flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of curry, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of ground garlic, a pinch of salt, sesame seeds, and 1/2 cup of soy milk or vegetable milk of your preference. Mix vigorously until dry ingredients are well incorporated. Take a sheet of seaweed and put the tofu portion in the center so that you can wrap it in the shape of an envelope. Moisturize the seaweed sheet with some water with a brush or your fingers to allow it to fold without breaking. Wrap up all the tofu portions and let them rest for at least 2 minutes to allow the seaweed sheet to adapt to the new shape. Then proceed to coat these portions with the mixture. Fry until brown on both sides. Do the same procedure with the previous sandwich. Clean the excess of oil, put in the oven for 10 minutes. If you don't want to bake or you don't want to toast, you can leave the tofu in the pan longer, so at least 5 minutes on each side. For this sandwich filling, fry some slices of fried plantain and in another pan saute onion rings with vegan barbecue sauce. To finish the sandwich, put well-washed and dry spinach leaves on the base of the bread. Put slices of fried plantain, onion, and finally the hot tofu patty. Personally, I hardly use sauces. Of course, you can put your favorite vegan sauce on bread or just vegan mayo. And look at this sandwich. Enjoy this amazing, delicious and nutritious meal. Now let's move on to the third vegan sandwich patty recipe that is based on tofu and king oyster mushrooms. Wash the mushrooms very well and dry them to remove the moisture. With the help of a fork, separate the fibers from the stem as I show you. Pour the shredded mushrooms into a large bowl and then add 2 tablespoons of vital gluten, 1 tablespoon of cassava flour, 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, along with salt and pepper to taste. Crumble 200 grams of tofu, approximately 7 ounces, and combine with the mushroom. Finally, add half cup of soy milk or plant-based milk of your choice and mix well until the dry ingredients are well incorporated. To shape these mushroom and tofu patties, I use these trays like I showed you previously. And again, you can also shape with your hands and give irregular shapes. It doesn't have to be round shape, and wrap each patty individually to keep the portions in the fridge for at least 2 hours or overnight. Prep pan to preheat with a tablespoon of olive oil or coconut oil. Mix 2 tablespoons of wheat flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of curry, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of ground garlic, a pinch of salt, and 1/2 cup of soy milk or plant-based milk of your choice. This is the same mixture we did with the previous patty, except that we're not using the sesame seeds. Mix vigorously until the dry ingredients are well dissolved. Coat each patty and cover tightly, then fry until brown on both sides. Do the same procedure with the previous sandwich. Clean the excess of oil and put it in the oven for 10 minutes. Optional, last minute in the oven, put a slice of vegan cheese to melt a little. If you don't want to bake, you can leave tofu in the pan longer, at least 5 minutes on each side. For this sandwich, we're going to prepare a simple vegan sauce. Put 2 cloves of garlic in 2 tablespoons of olive oil and microwave for 1 minute. Then, being very careful not to splash, mash the garlic in the warm oil with a fork. Remove the garlic and mix this oil with 2 tablespoons of vegan mayo, 1 tablespoon of minced coriander and paprika. Mix all the ingredients very well. The filling of this sandwich is very basic: iceberg lettuce, tomato, and pickles. Put the amount of sauce of your preference, and this mega sandwich is ready. In the link above, you can find a recipe for super nutritious and delicious lentil burger. And remember, stay until the end of this video. I will be sharing with you this amazing recipe for these extra crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside buns for sandwiches or even for hamburgers. Give me your opinion on these sandwiches in the comment section and tell me which recipe you like the most. Enjoy this meal! Thank you for watching this video until the end. Consider subscribing if you are new, like, comment, and share. And I hope you're reducing, cleaning, and separating the solid waste you generate in your house. And don't go, wait for the crusty buns recipe. Bye-bye. For this sourdough bread, I use 5 cups of unbleached wheat flour, approximately 600 grams, 1 cup of sourdough, 1 2/3 cup of water, and 2 teaspoons of salt. Mix well all the ingredients until the dough is uniform. Knead approximately 1-2 minutes to achieve a uniform consistency. Put a layer of oil to coat the dough and leave covered on the kitchen counter for 24 hours. Then transfer to the fridge for another 24 hours. Remove from the refrigerator and leave at room temperature for 4 to 6 hours to reach this point. Make a few inward folds and form a ball without kneading or applying too much pressure. This dough weighs about 45 ounces, so here, like I show you, I'm only going to take 15 ounces of this dough to make the buns. I'm going to divide this into 3 portions of 5 ounces each to form the bread balls. I'm going to use these glass cups to shape the buns. Put enough oil so they don't stick. Let them sit covered until they double in size. After this time, remove them to the tray where you're going to bake them. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and prepare a solution of 1 cup of water with a teaspoon of baking soda and transfer to a spray bottle. Sprinkle the dough balls until well soaked with this mixture, and then sprinkle some sea salt or pink salt, just a little bit. Remember to score the buns, make a few parallel or X cuts on top. Sprinkle seeds of your choice. I am using black and white sesame seeds and poppy seeds. Bake for 30-35 minutes depending on the color you want, but at least 30 minutes. And here are these amazing and delicious buns, fluffy on the inside and crispy on the outside. Enjoy!